It's bright in here. Right. That's better. Got dark again. Right. There we go. Okay. It's good and bright again. That's really annoying to get up all the time, so I'm going to fix it with 4 SwitchBot Blind Tilt, a couple of solar panels, and a button to make it all happen. Yeah, so the 4 blinds behind me, I do open and close them quite often because the sun comes in here sometimes of the day, and then it's, if I'm sitting at this table, it just gets annoying, so I'm up and down all the time. So I've got 4 SwitchBot Blind Tilt, is what they're called, and we're going to install those on those 4 blinds to automate them, of course. So the plan is to put them on, install the solar panels on 2 of them where the sun normally comes the most, and put them into Home Assistant using Bluetooth, and then of course also have the little SwitchBot remote or button that we can then use to manually open and close them. Well, manually, but click a button, and that's the plan. So SwitchBot very kindly sent me this, and if you are watching this on the day that the video comes out, there is a very nice Black Friday sale on, so check that out in the description, and you might even be able to get these at a, I don't know, 30-40% off. It's quite good. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, do consider subscribing to the channel, because I do a whole bunch of home assistant integration, home automation, and this is just another project that'll make my life easier, hopefully. So first up, let's have a look at as what is in one of these boxes, well, these and that, and then we'll try and install on the windows and go from there, see what works. Yeah. Alright, so I've just changed the camera angle a bit for you so you can see better, I hope. But here we go, let's open one of these. I'm just going to open one because they're all the same, obviously. So put those 3 over here to the side, and we'll get those in a minute. And that. So let's start with the actual Blind Tilt robot. So these are the second version, I believe, of this system, and they only work with, obviously, horizontal blinds, not vertical. That is pretty important. So let's have a look what's in here. Okay, there's the actual unit, and there's another box. Oh, and there's another box. So first off, here is the unit. So this is the robot itself, or the automation bit of it. So I believe that you put this part here goes around. We can probably open that. There we go. All right. That goes around the rod that hangs down, and then this hangs up on the blind itself somehow. And there's a USB-C port here, which I'm assuming is for the solar panel. And that's it. And there's a button at the bottom, and that is the reset. It says it's probably also to link them up and discover them on the system. So we got that. Then we have a user manual, and if you saw my video on the curtains that I put up, the SwitchBot curtains, or robots as well, or automations, I did need the manual because these fit a number of different kinds of blinds, so I did actually need it. So let's see if I need this again. Okay, so in this thing here is oh, that is actually the solar panel. So what these are more solar panels. So I think these might be for the curtains that SwitchBot has sent me. All right, Well, there we go. They have solar panels in them. That's cool. See, it does say solar panel included. So there you go. You don't actually need these for these kinds of blind tilts. So there you go. I learned something. This has a bit of 3M tape on it, or you know, double-sided tape, and that's probably for putting it on the window so that it hits the solar panel here. And this is the USB-C, which obviously goes into there, like that. Very neat. Okay. Well, they come with a solar panel. See, I'm learning as well as you are. Here is some sort of measuring thing, small, medium, large, extra large. Okay, we might need that. There's some help. There is a wet wipe for cleaning wherever you're going to put that on. There is what looks like a SIM card taker-outerer for your phone, but it's probably for resetting something. That's the reset hole right there. Yeah, that we in there. And then we have, what else we got? Something else with tape, cardboard with bits of tape on it up here. Not sure what that's for. And this are more sticky things here, so I'm not sure what those are for either. And then we have the last box here, which is XL, it says. Okay, so that's for the XL. Again, I'm not sure what XL is. And that has a much longer USB-C cable to USB-A. And a whole bunch of things in here. I'm not sure. It says small, medium. Oh, so you can change the size of this thing. So these are inserts. Come on. For in here, I'm assuming. You put them in here. So if you have a small rod, medium rod, whatever, large rod, then you have the inserts for these so it fits multiple sizes. This is what I like about SwitchBot. Everything is thought out. And this feels, again, solid. It feels like really good quality. Yeah, I can't fault it. I was very happy with the curtains as well. The curtain robots, or the curtain openers, curtain bots. Here are more implements. Again, I'm not sure what those are for. And, oh, jeepers. Some sort of torture instrument here. Not sure where that goes either, but we can open that. Whatever that is. Those are all the bits you get. That's a lot of bits. So, yeah, we're going to put these away because they're for the curtains. And then, of course, we have the button here, the remote. I'm going to use this to automate the whole thing so that all of them will open and close at the same time using the button, or, of course, inside a Home Assistant, so I can use it on my phone as well. So let's just see what the SwitchBot remote looks like. Oh, there we go. So this, I'm assuming it's just a button or remote. Yep, there we go. So that has a little holder for it, and it has the remote itself, which probably just runs on little button batteries. Yep, it's on a CR2450, so a bit bigger than normal units for this. And then we have up and down, or open, close, or whatever you want to program it to. That's it. There is, we can have, there's labels here, on, off, or you can write your own, open, close. I'm not sure I'm going to bother with those. And of course, there's user manual. That's it. That's all there is that we now have to install. That's a fair bit. So I'm going to read the manual, and then we'll go from there. All right, let's install the blind tilt on this particular blind, and I'll show you how it's all done. It's pretty straightforward. So first thing is to get the wet wipe, because we want to clean this properly, because blinds get all sorts of dust and crap on them, and that does not go well with stickers. And all this is a lot of it is based on sticking things on with tape, or double-sided tape for that matter. So we got a little wet wipe here. So we're just going to clean where we put it. I'm going to put it over there. And just clean the whole area here. Important you clean the rod as well, because that, or the wand as they call it, because that is where all the magic happens. So make sure you're happy with that, like that. And then we have this template. This is really, really important. It's a little bit of cardboard, which actually is going to show where to put things, where to mount it. And they've got two little bits of sticky tape here that we're going to use to stick it on so we have a very accurate measurement. So the way you do it is that you put it on here and you put it right up against the top of this. So the line here in the middle is going to be the line of the wand. So like that. So I'm just going to take the stickies, make it sticky so we can put it on. Like so. And about there. And then we sort of stick it on as well as best you can. And there. There we go. So now we have a template. So the next thing we need to do is measure how thick this is. I actually think I had to do that first, but anyway. Comes with a little measuring tool here, and that you use to wrap around the wand, put it through a little hole here, and then we can see how big it is. You can see here it is medium. So this wand is medium in size. And you need to know that because you then choose one of these attachments. There's a large, a medium, and a small, and you use that to, actually if it's an extra large, you put an extra sticker on here, on there rather, and you take these, you take the tape off here and you put it around the wand. Now where do you put it? Well, that's why we have the template, right in that gap there. So that's where we need to put this attachment, which is what the motor is going to grab onto. So we'll take the tape off here, and then right in there, make sure we get it just right, like this, and then we close that, and then it says clamp it for about 30 seconds. So you hold for 30 seconds. Now, one of the cool things is that I have wands for the blinds that are on both left and right hand side, and it works with both as well. So not only does it work with almost any size wand, it also works with pretty much any combination of these, you know, the string bit attachment, the wand mechanism, and where it's mounted. So like that. So that's now there, see, right there, perfect. Now the next thing then after that is that we have to mount. We then have to mount where the mechanism sits, and you get two options here. So this is the, I think they call this A, and that's called B, which has a bit of tape on the back. And that sits, that's what the template for, that sits right in that corner. So either there, or alternatively with the other one, if you can't, if the tape doesn't work with what you got, you can put it there or there. Right, so in this case, this one's going to work all right, the first one. So we're going to put that on up here. Make sure you have up and up. And then I'm going to put that there, right in that where that template sits, like so. There we go. And now we can then take the template off, because now we're done with that. But now that sits there, quite neat. Then we have to put the actual cog attachment on. This is what the motor grabs onto as well. So that's like this little thing here. We put that around this thing we put on before, and that then clamps on like so. So then it sits really neat there, and just check that it actually is grabbing onto it, that it's not going to slide like that. And then we finally get to put the actual motor on. And again, remember I said in this case it's going to sit like this, and that's fine. There's a little clamp on here that hooks into this, so it's adjustable. But if I had it on this side, I can just take this off and turn it the other way, like that. And now it sits on the other side. That is super neat, like super simple. So that's going to work well for me. Oh, yeah, there we go. So then we just slide that up into here. And we're just going to open this up. That's where the motor is. See, the motor sits there. That's the one that actually turns it. And just to get it just right in here, so that now we're not quite, are we? We're just about right. I'm going to move up one more here. Come on, there we go. Just one more, and then it sits a bit more accurately. So now, okay, so now that's attached, right? pretty good. The last thing we can do is that we can put a solar panel on. I'm not sure I have enough sun coming through here, but you basically take this sticky bit off, you attach that to the window, and then this USB-C then plugs into up there, and then it charges it. So you can do that. It comes with it, as we saw. You don't need a separate solar panel. All right, and then the last thing is just a little cover. There we go, like that. And now we're ready to calibrate it and start using it. Yeah. Right, so now we have that one installed. I've already installed that one as well. So we have two now, but we're gonna just install that one or set it up in the app and calibrate it. So go into the SwitchBot app and I'm gonna hit the add button. I'm gonna add a device and it already knows it's there. So it's got blind tilt. So yeah, that's the one I'm gonna add. So now I have to press it and hold it down here at the bottom, and then there's a white light, there we go. That's flashing. You might not be able to see it on camera, but there's a white light flashing. So we click next. And connecting to the device. There we go. So I'm going to call this one Blind Tilt 2 because the other one was 1. And the room is going to be here in the office. Very good. That's just a naming thing. Okay. If you want to know how to install it, you can also use the pictorial guide here or the video guide that's in the app. The pictorial guide is exactly the same as the manual that you get in paper form. I'm going to skip that. Okay, manually adjust with blind 2 fully closed down. So you have to do this so it knows where the positions are. So I'm going to that is fully closed down. And it does say here, note, due to the characteristics of blinds, do not reverse the slats when calibrating, right? So you have to follow these quite precisely, these instructions, otherwise it won't work properly. Next, okay, fully open horizontal. So that is fully open. Is there, roughly? Yeah? Oh, due to the characteristics of blinds, do not adjust your blinds over the set position, then reverse. Oh, I actually turned it the wrong way. So let's just do that again. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do it again. That's all right. This is how precise you have to be. So like that, it's now fully closed down. Okay, so we're gonna go horizontal fully open, which is gonna be there. And then we're gonna go fully closed up. So we're going to go from closed to open to closed. So this is fully closed like that. And then back to horizontal open. The reason you go back to horizontal open is that depending on how much give is in the string that's used, there might be different number of revolutions or precise revolutions to get back to fully open. So that's why it's asking again. So next, and now it's added successfully and calibrated. So now I can go close down. You ready? There you go. And now it's going to close it. I don't know if you can hear it. It's a little bit of a whine. It's not super loud. It's not completely quiet. It's not like the curtain bots that I put up when in the quiet mode you can't hear them. These you can hear, but let's just try and open them again then. There we go, just to make sure that it works. Like that. Look at that. And I'm putting these on quite old blinds. They're not new. I'm guessing these are probably 30-year-old or something like that. So the wand is even a bit bowed. It's actually not straight, but it's still managed to do it, no problem. So that's pretty neat. Of course, I can also set the angle myself manually, so I can say I want them that much open. Right, so then it goes to exactly that position. Yeah, right. So what else is in here? Well, there's a couple of options at the bottom. There's a delay. The delay is just, I want them to do a thing in so many minutes or hours. And actually, you can see the action here, fully open or fully closed. I'm not going to set a delay right now. You can schedule it. So I'm going to probably schedule it through Home Assistant if we manage to get them in. I think we can get them into Home Assistant. And you can add a schedule on when to open and when to close them. If I click add here, you can see you set it up like this. You can repeat it only once and then again open or closed. And then finally there is the light sensing. I haven't attached the solar panel to that one. You can see if I go back to the first one, Blind Tilt 1, and I go to light sensing. Here we go. You can see I get some stats on it. So that one over there, I have attached the solar panel. And that is pretty much it. That's all there is to it. Of course, in the SwitchBot app, you can create your own automations and your own scenarios, so you can open or close all of them. Now, again, I'm going to do that in Home Assistant because I can integrate with other things then, but you can absolutely do it all in the SwitchBot app as well. Okay, so next, I'm just going to install the other two. I won't bore you with that. And then we're going to have a look at Home Assistant and how that all works with that. So welcome back to Home Assistant. I'm going to use Bluetooth with Home Assistant, and if you're not familiar with that, I created a whole video just on setting up Bluetooth. It's really, really easy. And then to add a bit of complexity to it, I don't have enough Bluetooth in one dongle to reach everywhere on the farm. Like the range of a Bluetooth dongle is 10 to 20 meters. So I had to come up with another way of getting Bluetooth up here in the office, which is not near the dongle. And that was to use a Bluetooth proxy. And I also created a video on that. So check out those two videos first if you haven't set up Bluetooth for Home Assistant to make this work. It's really quite straightforward. So not a huge learning curve. But let's get into getting these blind tilts into Home Assistant. Right. I'm going to first go to my integrations here. And there are a few different ways that you can get Bluetooth devices into Home Assistant. Sometimes they just show up, like the curtain 3s that I did, they just showed up in Bluetooth, in Home Assistant via Bluetooth. Sometimes you have to manually get them into Home Assistant with like an ESP32 board. Or in this case, I'm going to use the SwitchBot Bluetooth integration to sort of manually adopt them. No, sort of manually. I know, I'll show you. So if you go to SwitchBot here, SwitchBot Bluetooth as an integration, here are the 4 blinds. So Home Assistant already knows about them, but they're just not integrated into the system. And you can see here, I called them 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't say 1, 2, 3, 4. So this last bit here is actually part of the Bluetooth MAC address. So I got to go into the app. So I'm just going to open the SwitchBot app here, and then say for Blind Tilt 1, I'm going to find the Bluetooth MAC address, and that's here. So the one for the first one, the Blind Tilt 1, ends in CBE6. So I'm going to use that one first. So that's the one I'm going to integrate first. So submit here, create a configuration. Ooh, very, very quick, and it's called Wool Blind Tilt. I guess that's it. So the area, again, I'm going to choose my office, which is up here. I'm going to finish that, and now I have it in here. So if I go to SwitchBot Bluetooth, there's now 5 devices. So there's my 2 curtains, there's 2 meters or temperature sensors, and then there is the Blind Tilt CBE6. And you can see here, out of the box, I get open cover tilt, I get stop cover, and I get close cover tilt. So I can open, or I can close them, or I can stop them. It actually has a light sensor as well, because the light level is needed for the batteries, the solar panel for the batteries, but I'm probably not going to use that. And then there's a diagnostics, battery, and calibration, whether it's been calibrated or not. So you can set up alerts for that. So that's quite neat. Well, one entity not shown. What's not shown? Oh, Bluetooth signal. Okay, well, I'm not going to use that. Alright, so I'm just going to add the other 3 as well, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now we have all 4 blind tilts are inside Home Assistant, and I can obviously control them through Home Assistant as well. But I want to control them all in one. I don't think I want to just open one or the other. I'm going to see if I can open all 4. Now at the start of the video, I did promise that I was going to try and set up this SwitchBot remote or button. There's 2 buttons on it. The problem is that this doesn't integrate with Home Assistant, unfortunately. I just realized. It is Bluetooth, just like the other devices, but for some reason this doesn't work with Home Assistant, so that integration hasn't been made yet. To use this, what you can do is you can integrate it directly with a device on the SwitchBot platform. So this could work with, say, the Bluetooth on one of the blind tilts, so you can pair it with one. If you want to pair it with multiple, you set up a scene. But in order to set up a scene, you need to use a SwitchBot hub, which I do have, but I haven't yet set up or used, and then that goes over the cloud or over the internet. So I'm not going to use this. I tried. Instead, what I'm going to do is use an IKEA button to make the blinds go up and down all locally on my network here. And to do this, and if you're not familiar with the IKEA, these are Zigbee buttons. So I'm going to use a Zigbee button to open and close the Bluetooth blind tilts. And that is the beauty of Home Assistant. So here's the button. Take the back off there. And all I have to do is pair it into my Zigbee network. And there are many ways of doing this. I currently am using the Decons and Foscon, which is from Foscon, the Conbi 2 device or dongle, and I use that through Foscon. So then I go into my switches, and then I need to add a new switch, and we're gonna have to choose other because this particular IKEA dimmer switch isn't supported like as an IKEA switch by Conbi. So we're gonna click other, and then we're gonna click 4 times on that to make it start pairing. And there we go. Compound was prepared, whatever that means. But now the switch is in. Click ready. See, it even shows up here as an IKEA switch. So we're not fooling anyone. We're going to just rename this. I'm going to call this Office Blinds Switch, because that's what it is. Rename that just so we know where we're going. And now I have a switch in Home Assistant. So now I've got to pair it up to our blinds, which are also in Home Assistant. So I'm going to go to Node-RED. And if you're not familiar with Node-RED, it is a logic kind of language or visual flow diagram chart kind of language. In any case, I created a video on how to get started, which is right there. It looks like this. And in Node-RED, I'm going to go to my Office tab because I already have a switch in here, just like it. And this switches off the lights behind me. See, like this? It's clever, isn't it? I can press it again, and you can see that it's all going here. Hey. So we're going to do something similar with this switch, which is obviously to have it open and close our blinds. That's the plan. So I'm going to use the same switch here. Now we need to figure out what its ID is, because you can see in here on the switch, we want to add another switch statement, or another thing here in the switch statement, which gives us, which catches rather, this particular button press. Yeah. So how do we find this long number, which is probably just like a GUID or an MAC address on the Zigbee network? So we're going to go into the DevTools here. And I'm going to go under events, and I want to have a decons event, right? Because we just put it into decons, into Foscon, which is part of decons. And then we want to listen to events. We're just going to listen to all events because I just need this to fire once. So we can start listening, and then you can see stuff's going to start popping up. But I just click on this, boop, and then we stop it, and then we want to find it. Now there are easier way to do it, but this is pretty quick to do that. So let me just find where that event is. It's going to be one of the short ones. Here we go. Trådfri, which is Swedish for wireless, on-off switch, and here is the device ID. Right, so that's the one that we're looking for. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put that into Node-RED, over under my Office tab. In here, we're going to add another. See, device ID is what we are looking for, payload event device ID. So this is the device ID that we just caught. So we're going to or captured or found. So we're going to click done, deploy that, and we can see we now have 2 outputs for this switch here, this switch statement. So we're going to have another switch statement, obviously, because we want to know what which event this is. But we can just copy this one because I've already created one. So the event of the event, this is on or 1, and this is off or 2, I believe. It might be the other way around. I got 50-50 chance of getting it right. So I'm going to copy this, and then we're going to take this down here, and I'm going to deploy it, and then we're going to output this to debug as well, because now I want to see what we get out of this when I press the button. So over here on the debug side, if I just remove these, which I have to fix, and I press the 1, you can see here, event type, decons event, local, fired, blah, 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 blah. We can expand that if you want to. And you can see here that the event type, etc., event object, 1001, so that is on. If I press off or 0 down here, you can see here that that gives me 2002. So I'm thinking 1 is going to be take the blinds up, and 0 is going to be takes the blinds down. Or do you want to do it the other way around? I don't think it matters. Anyway, whatever's up is going to take the blinds up. So we just get rid of these because we don't need to debug that now. And then this switch statement, and this is the beauty of Node-RED, we can just move things around a bit, give us a bit more room. So down here, we are now going to open and close the blinds. So we're going to have a caller service. And on, so this is now, we're going to open them. So the domain is going to be cover, because these are considered covers. You can look that up. Actually, I have it over here on the Switch to Bluetooth page. You can see down here that the SwitchBot Tilt is exposed as a cover entity. We can also go and see it if I just open another instance of Home Assistant here. Oh, there's a seal. Hello, seal. You can see here under the entity ID that it's cover dot whatever the entity ID is. Now I could change those to blind tilt 1 2 3 4, but no, I'm not going to do that for now. So that's how you can find them as well. So this is a cover, and the services we want to open it, right? So it's open cover, because we just said that the one is going to be open, and the device is going to be blind, and we have 4 of them here. So we're just going to choose all 4. I'll choose the second one first. Okay, and that one, and you can see that it's telling us which have already been chosen. Quite nice color coding, and that is it, I think. Do you reckon? I think that's right. So we're going to click done and deploy, and let's see if this fires now when I press up. Cover open, cold at whatever. But they're already open, actually. I'm just looking at there because it's right out there. But I'll show you in a second as well. So we're going to need another call service just like this for closing them. So obviously we can just copy paste it because we already have the blinds here. We just need to change the service, and it would be close cover. And click done, deploy that. And that's why I like Node-RED, because it's quick. You can copy paste things. All right, let's see what happens if I click the 0 button here. Right. If I had paid attention, I would know that it was open cover tilt. I'm not sure what tilt means exactly in this context, so if you know, please comment down below. And also this is going to be close cover tilt. Did I get that right? Close cover, open cover? Yeah, open cover tilt. Okay, deploy that. So now that should work. So let's try and see if we can close the blinds. There we go. And you can't see that, but I can hear it and I can see it that they're all now closing. All 4. So yes, we couldn't get the SwitchBot button or remote to work because it doesn't work with Home Assistant, and I need a SwitchBot hub to make them work outside of Home Assistant. So I didn't do that. But thank you, IKEA, for providing a Zigbee switch, which I can now, because of Home Assistant, make work with my Bluetooth SwitchBot blind tilts. That's pretty neat. I like that. That's pretty cool. So I now have blinds. And of course, now that I have it inside Home Assistant, I could set up all sorts of other automations. Now, what would you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm thinking as it's sunset, close them. When it's sunrise, open them up again. Maybe have a button on my dashboards, which is another video that I made on how to create wall-mounted dashboards with Home Assistant. Looks quite neat. There's all sorts of options now, but they're inside Home Assistant. I'm very excited about that. But let me know if you enjoyed the content. Consider subscribing to the channel. I do love doing these videos, but before I leave, I'm just going to go and I want to show you that it works as a finale. So I'll go out and I'll do that, and yeah, that's next. All right, so here we go. Blinds, they're open. I'm going to click the close button. Remember that was 0. There you go, and they're closing. Look at that. That's amazing. So now I can automate them, I can schedule it, I can press the button, whatever scenario that I want, I can now do. And of course, if I click open, they're going to open as well. Look at that. Isn't that neat? So now they're all hooked up to Home Assistant, and I can move on to the next project, which, I wonder what that might be. Anyway, I hope I'll see you there in the next video.